Hello and welcome to another episode of Beyond Loss, Loving Life with Karen Chaston. It is Monday morning. It is 11 a.m. in Queensland and it is so great to be here. I have been travelling over the last week. I had a speaking engagement in Sydney on Saturday morning, which was absolutely amazing, I have to say. But as I was preparing for my talk, I love to write out my talk. I had 20 minutes, right? So I had like to write out my talk and then practice. But it was really unusual this time because what actually happened was I had some family visiting me and I didn't really have the time to write out my talk and to be able to prepare the way that I normally would. But I was guided all the way along that, like, you know your stuff and it doesn't have to be word for how you've written it. So today what I thought we would talk about is that, are you open and receptive to everything that is coming to you, to your guides, to your intuition? And we're going to do a couple of little a three-step process on how you can actually become more intuitive, to trust what you are being guided, and to know that you are the master that you are seeking, as my beautiful friend Bethany Lane Hayes loves to teach us all. So first of all, I'm going to say hello. Hi, Love Live. Hi, Davey. Hi, Kerry. Great to see you here. And Love Live is from Miami. Wow. Is that Miami, Queensland, or is that Miami, Florida in the States? And hi, Tammy. Great to see you here as well. So let me know. So as I said, today I'm going to be guided in sharing you on how that you can learn how to trust you more and more. So as I said, if you've only just come on, I did this amazing talk, which I will share with you all in a few weeks when it's been filmed, from the Gold Coast. Hi, Joanne. Nice to see you here again. Katie, nice to see you from the USA. Always great to be able to talk to people over the whole world. So let's get started. So let me know, do you trust your inner guidance? Do you even know how to listen to your inner guidance? Let me know, type it into the chat, because we are the master we are seeking. And the more that we tune in and the more that we trust, amazing things happen. And the beautiful thing about it is when we actually do trust, everything happens in a much higher state, far beyond what we could ever imagine when we're trying to micromanage the situation. And, with my talk on Saturday, which was at the New South Wales State Library in Macquarie Street, I, would normally have had practice every single minute of the 20 minutes. But things happened. I was traveling. I had, family here the weekend before. So I didn't have the opportunity to really do the practices I would normally. But I went with the flow. I trusted that everything was happening for my highest interest. I was in the moment. I was present, the weekend before with all the family who had come to visit. I was present with all of my friends when I flew to Sydney on Wednesday and spent time with all of my friends and family over those 4 days. So sure, I had time for me to sit and to go through my talk, but I didn't do the hours and hours and hours that I would have normally done. And I'm here to say that it ended up a lot better than what it would have. Like, I know my stuff, and of course that makes it easier. But sometimes we get so fixated on it has to be said this way and I have to say all of this. But when you do trust, it's amazing that what comes out is what's meant to come out. And, of course, after I went, I didn't say this and I didn't say that. But then I very quickly went, it wasn't the right time, or they didn't need to hear that, or they would have embraced it. So live love. I trust my inner guidance, but I'm told a lot that it's not right. Well, it is right. You have lived many, many, many lifetimes, and your inner guidance is aware of every single millisecond in all of those lifetimes. Your consciousness is not. Your consciousness is only really aware of what it chooses to remember in your current lifetime. So your inner guidance knows why you are here. Your inner guidance knows why you have chosen to be who you are, why you have chosen the lessons that you would like to learn in this time, why you have chosen the love that you are going to receive in this time. So it's really important that when we tap into our inner guidance, we actually know that we're tapping into who we are. Not just our physical, who we are in this lifetime, but our complete soul, our complete awareness of who we are. And it's always has your highest interest at heart. It's never going to let you down. It is always going to guide you into a scenario where you will learn and grow. Now, you may feel, oh my God, why did that crap happen in my life? How am I meant to learn and grow from this? And believe me, you will always learn and grow more from a perceived negative situation than you ever will from a positive. You will learn and grow from a positive as well. But so let's have a look at it. So when you tune in more on a more regular basis to what's going on inside of you, to your intuition, that's how you will learn and grow and also be able to trust it. And you'll also start to actually see the dots on, there are no coincidences in this world. And when you start to really embrace that, then you will start to see how things are connected and how this thing happened and it led to this and then it led to this and it brought you into a different space and a different place so that you could actually be doing something completely different. So how do we get to be able to in a place where we can start to not only feel and listen to our intuition, but then to start to trust it? So the first step is for us to get grounded. And to be quite honest, the first step is for us to stop. If you look at the pandemic, the 2020 pandemic, we were all so busy before it that we never even had time to stop. We had so much noise around us, we couldn't even hear our intuition, let alone follow it and be guided by it. And that's what is really important. And it's for us all to be aware that even though many perceive the pandemic to be this big, negative, horrible thing, it actually has a lot of blessings attached to it. And the first one is that it was guided us for all of us to stop being so busy. Because when we did stop, we started to realize that we had a lot of stuff in our life that really we weren't living and loving. We were just continually doing it. And I refer to that as being in a Groundhog Day days, where you wake up each day and you just sort of keep living the same day over and over and over. And you think that, well, this is life. This is how I have my successful career, and this is how I look after my family and my friends and myself. But in reality, it's just causing us so much stress that we then have to use all of these avoidance tactics just so that we can get through the day. And believe me, I've been there. As a CFO, I'm the queen of avoidance tactics, of not deep diving into myself and to just thinking, well, this is what success is all about. You can't earn this money without having all of this stuff, this negative stuff as well, which isn't true. Though it was a belief that I had at that time. Whereas now I know that you can receive and have anything you want in your life without all of that stress. But it's about you being aware, and it's about you looking after yourself inside and out, not just your physical body, but also your spirituality and your guides, and understanding that the more that you deep dive into you, the more that you can live and love your life in this realm, in this time that we are in now. So once we stop, The next step is for us to get grounded in our physical bodies. So I'm going to post these here so you can see what I'm saying. So how do you get grounded into your physical body? Right? So let me just bring this up so you're aware of it. So how do you get grounded in your physical bodies? Well, the best way to do it is to walk outside, take off your shoes, and literally stand on the grass, stand on Mother Earth, and just, breathe in and just feel the energy of the nature coming into your body. Just, be aware of your arms and how you are connected to Mother Earth and how we are connected to the universe. That's the grounding, and realizing that even though we are in reality with this one tiny little particle, when you go out into the whole universe, we're all connected and we are part of the universe. So by grounding yourself into Mother Earth and realizing that we are connected and, to the core of this earth as well as to the universe, that is the best way for you to start to realize who you are. And you start to realize that you're important. You are a very, very important person, not only in this lifetime, but in all of creation. And you matter. And it's important for you to realize that you do matter. And it's only in the stopping and the grounding that you start to realize how connected you are. And through you knowing that you are connected, you start to sense that you are loved, you are being guided, and we all have our guides. We all have the ascended masters. We all have the archangels who are listening to us, who are there for us, but they can't do anything until you ask. And most of us don't ask, we tell. So that's the first most important part for you to start to tap in to your inner guidance. And that is to get grounded in your physical body. Now, the second one, I'll just copy it and bring it up. So bear with me. In the meantime, any questions, anything, just please type in to obviously the chat. Okay, so the second amazing step, right? The first one is to stop, get grounded into your belly, and it's as simple as walking out on the grass. It's just so that you've got your feet with no shoes on connected to Mother Earth. Another one that I really love is to go and, stand on some sand, put your feet in the ocean if you're lucky enough to live near the ocean. And when you just do this next step, you will amazingly, which is to do some deep breathing. Okay, so just think. So you're outside and you've got your feet connected to Mother Earth, whether it's on the grass, whether it's, standing in the ocean, standing on some sand, on a rock, wherever it is, whatever is close to you is your part. And you can always find a little patch to stand connected to Mother Earth. And yes, rocks are Mother Earth, don't think it has to be grass or sand or water. So when you're standing there connected, you do this amazing, deep, slow breathing. Our breath is our connection. We breathe to live. But sometimes we shallow breathe. Most of us shallow breathe. We don't do that deep dive breathing deep down into our belly. And it's amazing, when you start to do it and you allow your belly to come out like a Buddha belly, that's when you really start to get so connected to you, so connected to your inner guidance, which is totally amazing, as you can imagine. So when you breathe deep down into your belly, what you do is you activate the nerve endings of the I can't even think of the name of the vagus nerve, which goes from your belly all the way up to your brain into your hypothalamus gland. And what happens is the hypothalamus gland will then start to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. Now, your parasympathetic nervous system is your rest and restore. Okay, the sympathetic nervous system is where we are active, our fight and flight and our freeze. So that's where we're in adrenaline, which we need to be in at times. Otherwise, we wouldn't get anything done. If we're always in relax and restore, we wouldn't be motivated to go and do things. But what we're talking about here is we want to activate our inner knowing. And we do that when we're in the rest and restore. So by doing your deep breathing while standing grounded, you will start to release all of the tensions of the days. And when you visually see as you breathe in, you bring in the love and the guidance of the beautiful Mother Nature that is around you. And then as you breathe out, you can see yourself releasing all of the tensions of the day, all of the things that you're worried about, the things that you may be in fear over, any of those negative emotions. Just see it as you are breathing out. You can even do a bit of a sound as you breathe out, like a ha or a ah, just releasing it so that you can start to feel yourself, right? Because what you're doing is you're removing all that negativity, those emotions, the negative, the lower vibration emotions, so that then you can start to vibrate higher. Because the higher that you vibrate, the more connected you are to your guides, to your loved ones on the other side, to the archangels, to the ascended masters. And that's where our information is. Okay, Joanne, when doing these exercises, my body relaxes and my own chakra tingles as it opens up to source. That is so spot on. And I'm going to bring that up for everyone to see. Thank you, Joanne, for sharing this. And this is exactly what it is. Because you are, all of your chakras, not only just your crown chakra will tingle, they all will, because you're starting to bring them into balance as you breathe in and consciously breathe into every single chakra. Each breath you could start at the bottom and breathe into your base. Then you can come up to your sacral. Then you can come up to your solar plexus, into your heart, into your higher heart, into your throat, and then obviously into your third eye, and then into your crown. So as you do each breath into each chakra, you are breathing life into them. You are also helping them to spin more, because they are all continually spinning. And the more that they spin and come into alignment and into their vibration, the more easier it will be for you to connect to your inner knowing. And this is what it's all about. And then the third thing, thank you, Joanne, for sharing that. Beautiful. And then the third exercise is something that you're going to absolutely love. So you've got yourself grounded. You're doing your beautiful breathing as you release all of the negativity from your day or from your life or from your month, whatever it is. And then the third thing is for you to do something that you enjoy. You enjoy, not something that your children or your partner or your husband or your wife or your friends want to do, something you enjoy. Because what you enjoy brings joy to your life. And if you're not really sure what you enjoy, think back to when you were a kid. What was something that you used to love to do that when you did, you got lost in? You could do it for hours and hours and hours, and you didn't even notice the time go by. That's the sort of things that you really, when you start to enjoy and really tap into it, that's when you, while you're doing this something, what doesn't matter what it is, that's when you're starting to activate your inner intuition, your inner joy, your inner love. And it's really quite simple, isn't it? That all you got to do is stop. Take the time to ground yourself, take the time to breathe into yourself, and then do something that you enjoy. Because what your intuition is giving you, it'll again give you the inspiration so that you can do something that is fun, something you enjoy, and something that you can do. right? And if you can't do it, but you want to do it, that in itself is saying, this, when you do this, you will be inspired to create whatever you're meant to be creating. You will be living and loving your life. So that's it. That's how simple it is. And it's all about you being able to relax, to open up to the infinite possibilities that are in all of our lives. And then you can receive. You can receive the joy and love, the abundance, the lifestyle, everything that you are desiring in your life will come to you when you start to follow your own intuition. It's really that simple. And it's quite amazing, isn't it, that it is so simple, because we like to complicate things. We tend to think if it's not if it's not easy, it's not of value. We like to think we have to struggle in order to receive. And look, we've been brainwashed. We have for centuries been told it's only through hard work that you can get along or you can get ahead and stuff like that. But it doesn't have to be that way. That's a belief that doesn't really serve us. And when we realize that we have so many beliefs in our life that are not serving us, it's time for us to start to question them. And it's time for us to start to say, why does it have to be so hard for us to do it? And the more that you look after yourself and the more that you actually tune in, as I've suggested today, the easier your life will become, because you are then in a state where you have raised your vibration, as I said earlier, where you can receive more inspired guidance, right? Because that's what we're after, is just show us the way forward. And sure, we may stumble and we may take a couple of different paths, but we'll always grow on those paths. And that's what I love about what I do and the awareness that I have. As I said, when you have this awareness, you start to see that there are no coincidences in life, that everything that happens is for a reason, and you are guided to do different things. Like, for example, on Friday, I had organised to catch up with a few people, some friends and family. And we were, going to see this family member of mine, and they cancelled 2 days before. They said, look, it's all too hard. I'm not feeling the best. I'm just not going to do it. And initially I was disappointed because I hadn't seen this person for like 15, 16 months. And then I thought, no, not meant to be. And the rest of us had the most amazing day. We did something completely different. And we were all very grateful in the end that this person had cancelled. Sure, we would have had a great day with them, but we did something completely different, something that we'd never done together before. So that in itself opened it up to more possibilities. Whereas sometimes you can be, so fixated on, this has to happen. And if it doesn't happen this way, it's not going to happen at all. And we all could have easily cancelled and not seen each other. But that's what I'm saying. When you are in a state of just rolling with whatever happens in your life, knowing that you are always being guided to the best solution for you, to the best activity for you, for the best way for you to enjoy your day, to be present in your day and to love it, that is what I just am so excited about sharing with you today. Because I was away from last Wednesday to late yesterday afternoon. And so that was 5 days. And I had a lot of people not cancel for whatever reason over that time. But I just rolled with it and went with it and was guided. And it was amazing. It turned out even better than I had thought it was going to turn out. But I also honoured the people for their reasons for cancelling. And sometimes when we're not feeling the best, or sometimes when we have something else that has come up, we don't do it, we don't honor ourselves. And that's why I respected their choice to cancel, because things had happened or they weren't feeling the best. And, and that's what it's about. I wasn't angry at them. I just thought, good on you for honoring yourself and doing what's right for you in this moment. So that's more or less what I've got to talk to you about. So are there any questions? Now, Joanne, I love to sit on my ride-on mower and mow for hours. I receive a lot of insights. It's extremely relaxing. Joanna, I can certainly relate to that. When I was first married, my in-laws, I got married in 78. So this would have been late 70s, early 80s. My parents-in-law, they lived on 5 acres and they had a ride-on mower. And I used to love to get out there and just zoom around for hours, not only being part of nature, but smelling that freshly mown lawn. Isn't that the most amazing smell? And being part of there. And then, as you said, being part of your own thoughts and listening to your inner guidance. And even though you're doing an activity, you don't have to be consciously present the whole time. Like, it's not like when you're, say, driving. You don't have to be so on because you're mowing a lawn. And it is the most amazing thing that you can do. And Love Live has said, I love designing. And it is. Isn't it something that you can deep dive into? Though when you do this exercise of, grounding yourself first and doing the deep breathing and then starting to design and allowing the design to probably go off in a different direction than where you consciously thought it was going to be. Just allowing the intuition and the creativity and the guidance from beyond to take it wherever it goes. That's what doodling's all about, isn't it? When you start and you just do it and you don't think about it, you are just allowing your hand to go wherever. That in itself is an amazing thing. And that's a great way for you to start to tap into your inner guidance. And the more that you tap into it and the more that you become aware of where it is guiding you, and then what happens when you follow it, the more that you will trust it. And they understand it. But as I said earlier, ask your intuition questions, grab your pendulum. Now, I've spoken about my pendulum before, and I highly recommend that everyone gets one, because this is a great way for you to tap into your inner guidance. And, there are some questions to set up when you start. So a great question is to show me, and now let me just hold this straight. Okay. Show me my yes. So as you can see, my yes goes forward. Okay. It can go in any direction. It doesn't matter which direction it is. Right. Then you can say, show me my no. I'm just trying to get it so the camera can see this more easily with my top. Where do I go here? No, if I bring it here in front of me, that's easier. Okay. Show me my no. So as you can see, it's going sideways. So my yes goes forward and my no goes sideways. Show me my maybe. Okay, so as you can see, my maybe goes around in a circle. Now, everyone will have it differently. It may go in a different direction, but just know that everyone has a yes, everyone has a no, and everyone has a maybe. And then you can ask it any sort of question so that you can then start using your pendulum to start to find the answers to some of the questions from your higher self. Because that's all you're doing. You're tapping into your unconscious. You're tapping into your inner knowing. And eventually you will say, well, I don't need the pendulum anymore. I know the answer, whatever I'm asking is right. And I have to say, pendulum is an amazing thing to take shopping with you, because when you look at something and you're about to buy it, actually ask the question, is it in my highest interest to buy this at this time? Do I really require this? And more often than not, you'll get a no, which is great, because otherwise you're going to bring it home, you're going to put it somewhere. And obviously, if does it bring a lot of joy and love into your life? Sure. But how often do you see it? So that's what I love about it. And then obviously you haven't spent the money. So then you can save the money for something that is of more value to you down the track. And I'm great to say, yeah, I think having a pendulum near you, obviously I use it. Okay. Can I ask your pendulum if I'm meant to be a designer? You can, but why don't you ask your own? Okay. Because then you're trusting me more than you're trusting yourself. So you said you have a thing. So let me ask, is it in Love Live's highest interest for me to answer her question? No. Have I answered her question in her highest interest? Yes. So that's, I was guided even before I used the pendulum to actually say, it's time for you to trust you. It's time for you to say, I am the master I am seeking. I have my own inner guidance. Sure, Karen has guidance, and Karen could have answered that question for me. But your guides have got together with my guides very, very quickly and said, let Love Live trust herself. Okay, because we're all on a journey. No one is, I may be just a little bit further down the road than what you are on your journey, but we're all on a very similar journey. And the journey is for us to come back to us. Okay. When you look at a newborn baby, you can clearly see that they know who they are. They are not worried about anyone else. They are just doing what brings them joy. Listen to a little child's laughter. Isn't it the most amazing thing in the world? I am so blessed that I have my little grandson who'll be 2 in May, and to be able to watch him grow. I certainly have come to the realization that when you have your own children, you really are busy living and loving your own life and doing the things so that, you can get ahead in your career and creating your house and your home and doing all those sort of things and your friendships and stuff, that you really don't notice, like you do with your grandchildren, every single little phase that they're going through. And that's what I totally love. Look at your children around you, and most people are gifted to have children around them, and just watch them. They're not worried about anyone else. They're just doing whatever brings them joy, and they do it so easily. They can do it for hours and hours and hours, which is brilliant. And it's only as we grow older that we start to have a little bit of us chipped away at. Someone may say something to us, oh, you're not very good at that, or, don't do that, and all these sort of things. So we slowly lose ourselves. But more importantly, what we lose is our trust within ourselves. We look to other people to find it, for their answers. We ask people, what's right for us? How can they possibly know what is right for us when they haven't walked a step that we have walked in this lifetime? So this is what today is all about. It's about assisting you to tap into your inner knowing, to know that you are the master you are seeking, that you can trust yourself, to know that you, like every single one of us, have your guides, your higher self. You're on a path to be able to learn and grow from all of the life lessons that you have chosen to learn in this lifetime, in the time that we are here in the information age. There has never been a lifetime where we have had access to be able to connect instantaneously with the whole world. Earlier in the conversation, we have people from all over the world who are here. I'm not sure if they're still here, but we know that we are instantly able to connect with everyone. We instantly know what is happening all over the world. And it's time for us to know that we can instantly connect to ourselves, to know that, I just showed you, through using a pendulum, find the answers for you. Okay. Right. And thank you, lovely, for saying you totally understand. Have you ever felt someone was not good and your intuition says it, but you ask others, they say different? Do not listen to your intuition or them. Okay. Yes, I'm sure every single person has done that. We had a feeling within inside of us to not trust someone. Okay. And then we gave them the benefit of the doubt. And then they may have done something to us that we thought, oh, why didn't I listen to myself? Okay. So there's a lot of different ways of looking at that scenario. And the first one is, yeah, if you had listened to your guidance, it wouldn't have happened. Okay. You would have been more wary and it wouldn't happen. The second one is you chose not to listen to your guidance, but you got an opportunity to learn and grow from. And you actually got several little lessons over that. One, start listening to your intuition. The other one is that whatever happened to you happened for you to learn and grow and to move beyond. So that in itself is a blessing as well. But, no matter what happens in life, we will always learn and grow. Now, when we start to ask other people about this person and we start comparing notes, I'm sure you will find that every single person will have a different opinion. And that's why it's always best to trust yourself. I have many friends that other friends said, I don't know why you're friends with them. And I'm sure everyone will say the same thing. But they're a different person when they're with you than when they are with other people. And we also connect to a different part of them. We see different things in different people. We see things that we like about them that other people may not see. And we always like to be right. So we will go with the things that we see, and we may not see that shadow side of them that the other people are looking at. That's why it's so important to trust your inner guidance. Hi, Paula. Nice to see you here. Looking forward to being on your session on Friday. Thank you. And yeah, I love to help people to, move beyond loss. I wish I had the understanding that I have now that I had many years ago, especially when I was in my corporate life. Okay, so Joanne, especially when you meet a new person for the first time, their energy can hit you like a lightning bolt. Yeah, it can, but it could be also a past life experience. It could be so many reasons why when you meet someone new that you have this instant connection. And it could be a spiritual connection. It could be this is who you had designed to meet, before you came down here. There are so many reasons why. So yeah, start to tap into your intuition and ask, what is it about this person? Why do I feel the way I do, whether it's negative or positive about this person? Is this, is this a person for me to avoid? Is this a person for me to embrace? And just know that even though you may feel that the answers are not the way you want to go, it's then up to you. You have free will. Even if you have been destined to learn something from this person, it doesn't mean you still have to go ahead with it. You have free will, but start to tap in, start to find your answers, start to realize that every single person have their own beliefs, have their own opinions that may not serve you, but that serves them. Or maybe they haven't done any exercises on themselves. Maybe they haven't done the deep dive into themselves and their beliefs are not actually serving them, but they have chosen to ignore the fact that they have these beliefs and to look into them to say, well, these beliefs no longer serve me, so let's change them. Okay, hope that helps. Lovely. What if a family member you feel you can't trust? Don't trust them. What you feel is right. Just make sure you're tapping in, do the exercise, as I said. Stop, ground yourself, do the deep diving into yourself. Then start asking yourself the questions. Start to make sure you're in that space. Even if you do that exercise of doing something that you really enjoy, before you start asking yourself those questions, know that there is a reason why you may feel that way about your family or a friend or whatever. I've released a lot of people in my life, and I think everyone will. They may have been designed to be in your life for only a little amount of time, But when you start to really trust who you are, to know who you are, and to know where you're going, you will realize that sometimes there's friends and family who it's time for you to say thank you and goodbye. Hope that helps. Right. You meet a new person. Right, Paula. Thank you, Paula. Yes, my sessions are on the CPD for you for lawyers, which I'm really excited about. This Friday, I'll actually be sharing what I spoke about on Saturday at the State Library in New South Wales, which is the People and Profits Connection. And it's all about assisting companies to realize that their employees are their greatest assets. And the more that they invest in their employees and the more that they actually, really maintain their employees and help them to excel in all areas of their life, not just at work, the more that they will be able to be there for them, for the company, the more profits they'll be able to create, the more connectivity will happen in the workplace. Though more importantly, the more that they will be able to create the best possible products and provide the best ever customer experience whilst building the best and biggest possible company of all times. And just imagine the world that we will be living in when all companies embrace the people and profits connections, because it will extend not only to all of the employees in the company, but all of their friends and families, which will then go out into the community, and then it will go out into the state and into the country and into the whole world. And I don't know about you, I'm really looking forward to living in a world where people understand that their employees are their greatest assets. And it's time to embrace them and to see them that way. Okay. Thanks, Paula. Okay, love. Other than pendulums, is there another way to ask your intuition? Yeah, just ask it. Just tap into your body. Close your eyes. Just feel every niggle in your body and just start to just ask a question and close your eyes, and the answers that come to you will be completely different to a thought. And the more you ask and the more you tune in, the more you'll understand that. But ask a question. The answer may not come in a feeling or a thought. It may come in a sign, or it may come in someone talking to you. They may say a phrase. I get so much from movies. The amount of phrases and sentences I get whilst I'm watching TV or a movie or whatever. Like I just grab my phone and I write down that note, and then I will write a blog on that one phrase, because it's talking to me. It's as I said, it could be in a number plate. It could be in a sign, as you're driving somewhere. It could be through a movie. It comes to you in so many different ways. It's incredible. But it's about you becoming aware and being open to it not just being one way. We live in a world that is infinite possibilities. One of my greatest things to do is to stand at a beach with my feet in the water, looking out at the horizon and saying, I live in a world of infinite possibilities. Why have I limited myself? There is an infinite number of ways to do anything. And when we start to realize that, we stop procrastinating. We stop being the limiting person. We stop trying to be perfectionists, which is amazing in itself, because we then become open to all possibilities. And that's what it's all about. So, yes, there are an infinite number of ways to receive the answers to the questions you are asking. But the first step comes in you stopping, grounding, breathing, and then taking the time to ask. Many of us never ask. The life that you're living really does come back to the quality of the questions that you are asking yourself. Because for every question, there is an answer waiting to be received. For every answer there is then an action step waiting to be taken. And for every action step that you take, you are moving one step closer to receiving whatever you have asked for. It truly is that simple, but you've got to start asking. And when we are busy, and we're not grounded, we're in the lower vibrations because we're more than likely in lack mentality, we're in resentment, we're in anger, we're probably screaming, when is it my turn? Why is it that I am continually doing for others and I never ever get to do for myself? So that's in the lower vibrations. So we're never ever going to receive our answers. We're probably never even going to ask our questions when we're in those vibrations. So it is about you following that really simple guideline that I shared with you today, to stop, to ground yourself, to breathe. Our breath is our life. It's the first thing we do when we come into this realm, and it's the last thing we do when we go on to our next adventure into another realm. So it's really important for us to start to realize that our breath gives us life. And the deeper we breathe, and the deeper we breathe into every single part of our body, like consciously see the breath going into your chakras individually, then see the breath going into your arms, and then feel how alive they come. Feel the breath going into your legs, and just realize, oh my God, I've got more energy. I can do so much more. Your breathing really does energize you. So start to do all those things. Right. Now, I do agree with you, Paula, but then, people are in our lives to assist us to learn and grow. So when we actually see the lessons and learn and grow from them, then we will become the people we're meant to. And forgiveness is a huge part of any betrayal. And it is desirable for all of us to learn how to forgive, because if we find it really hard to forgive the other person who we may class as our enemies, or the people who are close to us who have wronged us, forgiveness is a huge part of the journey of moving beyond anything that has happened in our life. And if you find it hard to forgive, I think it's Oprah saying, or it's someone, it's certainly been around for a long time, not probably just Oprah. But, if you can find it hard to forgive, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So we forgive for ourselves so that we can move beyond, so that we can release those negative energies that are inside our body, and we can lift ourselves to grow even more. So it's for everyone, no matter what has happened in your life, take the time to forgive. I'm not saying condone what has happened. That's completely different. Just forgive what has happened and realize that you have learned and grown, and deep dive into all of the benefits you have received from whatever happened in your life. Okay, often people just don't stop. You are so right, Jeannie, and believe that structured activities are what to do. Just being is okay too. Yeah, it's in the being that we're human beings. Like, it's so simple to know what is best for us. Just look at who we are, human beings. We're not human doings, okay? It's always in the building. Yeah. See, Paula, you had so many things you are grateful for what has happened. Just being in the moment and being great. You are so right, Jeannie. So, as always, I would love to share with you two things now. The first thing is, if you feel there are any sorts of loss that you are ready to move beyond, the first one is, and I'm going to post this here, is for you to go to this link, which I've just posted in the chat, which is to my ebook, which is called Life After Loss. Now, there are over 40 different loss events that can affect our lives. So let me just get this up. Okay, there are over 40 different loss events that can affect every single one of our lives. So it's important for us to understand that we have never really been taught how to move beyond one loss event, let alone 40s. So the more, and here I'll go full screen on this so you can see what some of the 40 losses are. So the more that we actually learn how to move beyond loss, and this ebook, Life After Loss, will truly help you to be able to move beyond loss. And of course, most of us aren't even aware that this grief situation that we may currently be in is actually a loss scenario. You know, it could be a death of a loved one, a divorce, a separation, your job loss, your health, your wealth, even your pets. Or if we go back to the 2020 pandemic, where all of the minor ones came to the forefront: loss of freedom, loss of choice, loss of status, change in work conditions, change in social activities, change in recreational activities. You know, most people wouldn't have even realized, hey, we're in a loss situation. This is a grief situation. Oh, now I understand why I feel the way I do. Right. If I actually know how to move beyond loss, which is what I teach in my 5-step gift of loss program, you can then realize that no matter what loss event comes into my life, I have a process where I can easily move beyond. So the first thing I'd really love for you all to do is to actually download the Gift of Loss book, okay? It will really help you to move beyond your loss events, which more than likely you have just shoved down the feelings, the everything about whatever has happened in your life. And believe me, with over 40 different loss events that can affect each and every one of us, we are all going to have multiple major losses throughout our life. So I highly recommend that you download the book. It's for free, okay? And when you download the book, you will then be guided to another part on the page. Now, this is a 45-day activity that I have created, which is called Revitalize Your Life. And I'm putting the link into there. So you could go straight to there, or you could go there via the book. Now, what I really, really love about this Revitalize Your Life, and I'll explain why I created it. So through all the people and through the thousands of people who have downloaded my Life After Loss book, I started to realize that they were in a situation where they were stuck. They were in what I call the Groundhog Day days. And there's two phases or two different scenarios or pathways through the Groundhog Day days. So one is where you are literally stuck. You don't know what to do. You don't know what this means for you in your life. You cannot see a way forward. So you're more or less in freeze. And you wake up each day and you think, right, today I'm going to get back to my normal life. And before you know it, you realize it's 5 p.m. You're still sitting on the couch in your pajamas. You have no idea what you have done all day. You have no idea what has happened. All you know is you don't know where to go and how to move forward. Or there's the other version of the Groundhog Day days, which is the version that I went into when my son passed away in July 2011. I went into what I call the busy mode, where I literally went straight back to work the day after his funeral, and I worked more and I drank more and I ate more, and I just did whatever I could to be busy. And I followed the old cliches, which many people even tell you to do. Oh, just keep busy, give it time, everything will be all right. Well, I'm here to tell you, no. It is for you to do more or less what I've said today. Stop, ground yourself, do some deep breathing. And that's the way you can tap into not only your intuition to know the best way forward to you, but you can also be guided to, the lessons, the gifts from what has happened in your life. And that's why I created Revitalize Your Life, because it literally is a 45-day activity where each day you will be guided into a new way to reconnect to you so that you can revitalize your life. And each day you get this activity, takes maximum 45 minutes, and you will receive them for 45 days. And the beautiful thing is because I know how important it is for people to reconnect to themselves and to stop looking everywhere except inside themselves for the answers, I have purposely created this course and I am gifting it to you for $1 a day. Yes, you heard right. $45 Australian, and you will receive the 45-day activities. Kerry, who has just said, thanks, Karen, great course. Kerry has just finished her 45 days. And, and she emailed me or messaged me on the weekend just saying how much she had learnt and grown and learnt about herself in doing these activities. So I highly recommend that you also, and I'll post it here for you. I'll post the link here again for you. I highly recommend it. So download the book. It's for free, The Life After Loss. When you do download it, you will be guided. The next thing that comes up after you input your details will be a link to the Revitalize Your Life, where I have a little video explaining what it's about and why I created it. But you've just more or less heard all of that here. And the other one is for you to know that you are important in your life. You matter. And it's time for you to understand just how much you do matter. So that's more or less it. I'll just answer the last couple of questions here. Thanks, Paula, for being so active today. Is it okay to not be okay? 45 days consciously tapping in yourself, being a life changer. And thank you. It is okay to not be okay as long as you don't stay there. I've met I'm not saying what the right timeline is, but I am saying if you are still stuck, a month, 6 months, a year. I've even met someone 20 years later who was still stuck after losing one of her children. And at that stage, she read my book, the Beyond a Mother's Worst Nightmare. And she said that was the best thing that she ever read and it helped her. But she'd been stuck for 20 years. So it is okay to be stuck, but not for a long time, okay? Because it's really important for every single person to realize that you are the only person you are going to be spending your entire life with. So it's time for you to stop putting yourself last. It's time for you to start creating your dreams and your desires and to start to realize that you are just as important as anyone else in this realm and beyond. So if you are stuck from whatever loss event has happened in your life, that's why I highly recommend that you download the Life After Loss book. It'll give you these amazing insights that I truly wish that I had. Not only when Dan passed in 2011, but before that, I had a lot of loss in my life. I look at that that thing that I just showed you, the list of the 40 plus different loss events that can affect all of our lives. You will very easily see that, you have had a lot of them. I've been on these calls and I had one lady, I've had 21 of those different loss events and I'm only 40. So we've all had major losses in our life, but they're designed to help you to maybe pivot, to move to a new direction in your life, to learn the lesson and to stop repeating the things that are stopping you from shining in your life. It may be it was a codependent relationship. It may be that you were not shining your light. I look back at my CFO role and believe me, I didn't shine my light. I used to look at the CEO and go, wow, look at him. He's up there. He's amazing, all this sort of stuff. I thought I could never do that. I held myself back. Now it's like you put me on stage and you got to drag me off because I wasn't shining my light. So yes, it was really horrible when I left my job, but it was the greatest gift that was ever given to me. So any perceived negative in your life is a gift if you choose to deep dive into it. There's a lesson for all of you. And the sooner you grab the lesson, the less on you. That's right. Our language tells us how to live. So I'm at time. I can't believe it. It has gone so quickly. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for interacting and for being here. I'm very grateful. Same time next week, 11 a.m. Queensland time, on these amazing platforms where you have just been. So thank you. I'm over time. I better go. I might be in trouble otherwise. Okay. See you all next week. And I highly recommend that you download the Life After Loss book and look at the Revitalize Your Life, because believe me, you matter and you deserve to have a life full of all of your dreams, desires, and aspirations. Thanks, Joanne. Bye.